Let's talk about the best DE&I programs. Over 5 years, Harvard measured 8 programs: volunteer training, self-management teams, cross-training, college recruitment for women, recruitment for minorities, college recruitment for minorities, mentoring, diversity task forces, and diversity managers. The last 3 that I mentioned are the most successful out of the 8 DE&I programs, and those are mentoring, diversity task forces, and diversity managers. Let's talk about mentoring. Mentoring is another way to engage managers and chip away at their biases. In teaching their proteges the ropes and sponsoring them for, key training and assignments. Key training meaning company trainings, learning different programs within the company. Mentoring, they give assistance to proteges, whether they're right men, women, or minorities. And what they do is their charge is to help develop and advance these employees' careers as a mentor. While white men tend to find mentors on their own, women and minorities more often need help with formal programs. One reason, according to Georgetown University, is that white men executives don't feel comfortable reaching out informally to young women or minority men. Yet they're eager to mentor assigned proteges, women, and minorities, and the first to sign up for mentors. Mentoring programs make companies significantly more diverse. On average, they boost representation of Black, Hispanic, Asian women, Hispanic, and Asian men by 9 to 24%. So it's very interesting that in mentoring programs like in the chemical department or chemical industry or electronic industry, those programs increase the ranks of white women and Black men by more than 10%. Now, the Corporate Diversity Task Force. Harvard has called this the trifecta of DE&I programs. And what it does is it helps promote a social accountability. CEOs usually assemble these teams, inviting department heads to volunteer, include members of underrepresented groups. Every quarter or two, the task force look at the diversity numbers. That can be one of their objectives. Look at the numbers as a whole, as for the company, for the business units and departments, but to figure out what needs attention. But the task force members come up with solutions, and they give those back to the departments. They notice if their colleagues aren't volunteering to mentor, if they're not showing up at recruitment events. The accountability theory here suggests that having a task force member in a department will cause managers to ask themselves, will this look right when hiring or making promotion decisions? Promoting accountability with the engaged members, who might have been previously, been cool to diversity projects. It increases contact among women, minorities, white men, and they pay off. On average, companies that put in a diversity task force see 9 to 30% increases in representation of white women and of each minority group over a period of 5 years. Now, diversity managers. They too boost inclusion by creating social accountability. And the teacher in training experiment, for example, when people know that they might have to explain their decisions, they're less likely to act on bias. So simply having a diversity manager who would ask them questions, that would prompt the manager to step back and consider everyone who's qualified instead of hiring or promoting the first person, who comes in mind. Companies who appoint diversity managers see a 7 to 18% increase in all underrepresented groups, except for Hispanic men, in management over a 5-year period. These gains are incredibly effective once a diversity manager is put in place.